and welcome to my video today. I want to share with you guys another simply layered pages, and we are going to be using this designer paper. So this is the True Gentleman designer paper. It's in the Occasions catalog and it's only available until the very end of May. So if you're wanting this paper, you're going to want to pick it up right away. And then also we're going to be using this punch. I'm happy to say that this punch is carrying over and will be in the brand new catalog. And there's some more, some different stamp sets that are going to coordinate with this. So that's amazing. I'm so glad I went ahead and I picked it up. So this paper is the True Gentleman paper, and it is in our lineup for, I feel like it's like a Father's Day type of suite. It's more masculine, and so I thought it would be a great set of paper to do a simply layered pages. So I'm going to bring my stuff over here. And this is the 12 by 12 early espresso paper, and I have a few things laying down here, but we're going to move some stuff around. So what I've done is I've just started with some early espresso designer paper, or I'm sorry, not designer paper, you guys, cardstock. So this is going to be a double layout. So it'll be a 12 by 12 layout. So it'll go together. It's a little hard for me to get everything on camera here, so I usually do one side at a time. I like to use my grid mat here. This is a self-healing grid mat, and I like to use it because I line everything up using the lines on the mat. So this is early espresso. One of the really exciting things that Stampin' Up! Has done is in the brand new catalog, you can get any of our 12 by 12 cardstock in any color. So they had kind of changed things up a couple years ago and you could only get certain colors, but now we're back to where you can get any color. So this is the early espresso, one of my favorite colors from Stampin' Up. Kind of made me fall in love with Stampin' Up. And then I have some of this True tailored designer paper. So the reason I chose the early espresso is because it is one of the colors that coordinate with this paper. We have early espresso, night of navy, and then instead of having white, instead of it being a white accent kind of color, it's very vanilla. So we're going to be using very vanilla. So what I want to do is, you could use any of the sides of this designer paper, but I have chosen this plaid and then the bow ties because that's what I like. So we're going to start by putting these strips down here on the edge. And this is always a very easy way to layer things. My corner down here got a little smashed. I rammed it into something, and so I really wanted to make sure I covered that up. So we are laying this down. This strip right here, let me get you a measurement. I think it is 3 inches, yes. So this is 3 inches by 12 inches. And then I have this design right here, which mimics the design of the punch, which I wanted to use the punch with this paper. So that is the perfect design to do. I'm using my ATG gun just because it's a lot of adhesive I'm running on here. The ATG gun is a really aggressive adhesive, so I'm not gonna have to worry about it coming out. So this strip right here is going to be 3/4 of an inch by 12. And so what I'm doing is I want to layer this down. So I'm going to pick one of the lines here on my mat and I'm going to overlap this, just so there's nothing really precise about the way I'm doing this. I just want to make sure I'm lining it up, like I'm picking 2 lines that are going to line things up so that it is straight. And then I got a little bit of adhesive right here that's just going to come right off. So the next thing that I've done is I've taken this plaid piece, and what I want to do is layer this right here. So I kind of eyeballed it. I didn't get an exact measurement. I kind of just decided how big I wanted it, where I wanted it to lay, and then I lined it with very vanilla. So that's a lot of times what I like to do with my layouts. The whole point of these simply layered pages is that you can put these pages together without having your photos. And then when you get your photos, you can easily layer them together. If you already have photos, that's great because you can just do the photos while you're putting your page together. But oftentimes I have a little bit of crafting time and I want to do a 12 by 12 layout, but I don't necessarily have photos to go with it. So this is a great option. So I'm just going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So I like to have things balanced. And so that's why oftentimes whatever you see me do on one side, I will try to do on the other side. And I feel like that lets everything come together. It draws your eye in and things aren't really totally wacky. This is, again, 3 inches. So it's the exact same measurements from each side. And then the same thing, this part, I don't mind if it's totally not perfect as far as exactly overlapping the other side. I just want to make sure I'm using these lines to line these things up. Whenever you have a weird pattern, this is kind of a strange pattern. Anytime you have that, it's going to be a little bit harder to line things up. So now what I've done is I've done the same thing where I've taken this plaid piece, but you can see it's much smaller than this piece. So the reason why is because I didn't want it to be exactly the same. I wanted to do a couple things on this side. So I made this a little smaller. So I'm going to line this up together. I'm going to smash it up together and use my lines here to make sure everything's straight. And then I will put this together. And when it's in a page protector and it's in a D-ring album, there is going to be, you know, some middle part. It's not going to line up exactly, so that's okay. So now let's work on each side individually, and let me zoom in so you guys can see what I'm doing a little bit better. I don't have a particular stamp set that we're going to use today, but you could use the stamp set that goes with this line of product. So we have our 12 by 12 here. So a couple things that I have that I want to add to this layout. I have these letters, and what I've done is I put them in the early espresso ink. But the thing I wanted to show you guys, these letters actually were gray and they had a glossy finish. So what I did is I took my handy nail file. This is just an emery board. It is not a softer, that's not the right word, but the part of the file is not, like there's one side that's really rough and then there's one side that's pretty smooth. I took the smooth side and on the gray portion, I just ran this on the surface. I didn't push really hard. What I wanted to do is just rough up the glossy part and kind of remove that. And then I set these in my early espresso ink, so I just smashed them down into my ink. And then what I did is I took this spray right here, and after my ink had dried, I sprayed this on top of it. I did it outside. This does not smell good, you guys. Make sure you do this outside. So I sprayed this and it gave it a really nice clear finish. And then you can see, if you look really close, you can kind of see where I scuffed up that lettering. It's not exactly perfectly smooth, but it does have a clear kind of finish to it because I sprayed it. The other thing that I did try was using this glitter dust, and I tried it. I lost the little piece that I tested it on, but this worked too. It gave it a glitter finish, but it did give it a nice glossy type finish where I felt like the ink wasn't going to get, you know, scraped off or pushed off or anything. So I would like to put this on this side just like this. So that's going to be my first element. Now, always when I'm designing these, I don't glue anything down right away because I want to make sure that I have everything where I want it to be. So So these are some photo mats. Again, this is where I would put my photos when I get ready to do that. And I wanted some in a different direction. So normally what I do is I take all of my photos this direction if it's a 3x4, and then in this direction if it's a 4x6. So what I thought I would do is go ahead and do the photo in this direction. So this is 3x4. It would be a 3x4 photo. So what I've done is made my very vanilla layer 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then I used Tranquil Tide, and I just made that 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. And what I think I want to do is go ahead and add my layers somehow, maybe like this, or maybe like this, 4 of them. So I'm going to finish gluing the very vanilla pieces down, and then we'll decide exactly where we want these to sit. Hey guys, I am back to share with you this layout, and unfortunately I thought I was filming and I wasn't, and so I ended up finishing up the layout off camera. This paper is only available for a few more days. On June 1st, this paper retires. This is the True Gentleman designer paper, and I just meant to have this layout up for you guys much sooner than I did. So this paper is retiring. It's the True Gentleman. It is a really beautiful set of paper. If you're wanting it, you're going to want to pick it up. So I just wanted to show you guys it is really great for masculine projects. And then here is the finished layout. This is what I ended up deciding to do with it. I used that punch like I was going to, and I feel like this layout still needs a little something. Like I would like to maybe coordinate a little bit more with when I put my photos in, adding some more embellishments. Maybe some wood elements would look really good on it. But here is the first side. I decided to stack them and have all of my photos going in that one direction. So you can see those are 3x4 mats, so 3x4 photos will fit perfect on there, and I can just trim them down. And then this side, the photos are going the same way. So that's an odd direction for me, but I felt like it was a little different and I wanted to dive in and try that. I used that punch, and again, maybe in that middle piece, some wood veneers would look good. I think that wood would coordinate really well with this layout. And then I did use Very Vanilla instead of Whisper White as a layer, and then a 3x4 photo will fit right on that layer, on those photo layers. So I've just added a 1/4 inch to the Very Vanilla and then a 1/4 inch to the Tranquil Tide to give me my photo mat. So I hope you guys enjoyed seeing this layout. I have some really exciting news coming about these Simply Layered pages. That will be next Monday. I'm excited to share. These are really easy and really fun to put together. I have a little stack of them that I can pull out and add my photos to whenever I'm ready. This I think I will use for Father's Day. I think that would be perfect. Once they go into the 12x12 sleeve, they'll be protected. So oftentimes I will pop things up. I don't mind having embellishments on there. The love letters worked really well on that. I just used glue dots to stick that on there, and I felt like it did really well. So I know this is a little bit different for a Tuesday post, but I really wanted to get this out to you guys before this product retired in case you wanted to pick up the designer paper. Please remember that I have my paper share that is closing up this week. If you want a paper share for the new catalog, you need to contact me right away. You can find that information on my website. And then the new catalog goes live on Friday, and that will be exciting. There will be some things happening on my Facebook page as well as on YouTube. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will be back later this week to share more with you guys. Have a great day, guys. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today and watching my videos. Here are 2 other of my most recent videos. I would love for you guys to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will catch you in my next video. I hope you all have a wonderful day.